Ladies and gentlemen, SookyMMA is back for UFC 273, man. It's been 2 weeks almost since UFC Columbus, but let's revisit just a quick little bit. We went 6-6, but if you follow me on Instagram, man, we had a lot of fun with some of those live bets and just some flyers on some dogs, right? We talk about the Kai Car-Friends. You know, the best way for me to break that down is I think something is going to happen, but I believe something could happen. And that's exactly why you might pick Askarov to win, but you bet on Kai Car-France to win because you see the paths to victory and the value is just insane. That was a joke of a line against Kai Car-France, and we're going to capitalize on it. I got a funny video that I'm going to put on my Instagram account just watching that reaction after his victory. But outside of that, so many good examples for us to kind of take away. With the Neil Magny Super Saiyan pick, once again, we get back on the winning trail. 13-7 in our last 20 for the Super Saiyan, 22-14 overall, 6-4 in 2022. So we're doing pretty well. We're getting back on that train after that tough 5-7 UFC London. My word, both these last two cards were just so close in some ways. The Souza fight, Saldana, a lot of people have different mixed opinions. I don't really hold much to that kind of stuff. It is what it is, right? It is the fight game, and that's why we do these kinds of things, to have fun kind of breaking these things down. And, I think UFC 273 is such a great slate of fights. We're looking to get back on that, crazy winning trail if you look at our record over the last, month or two. So outside of that, I'm pretty pumped for the Julio Arce fight, which is going to kick us off against Daniel Santos. Now, the big thing I want to talk about in this fight is, to be quite honest, I really want to give, the Shootbox boys a bit of bump here. You talk about him having such a good connection with, Charles do Bronx, one of my GOATs and now current champion. Would have never thought. I did find some footage of him striking over here. The thing is you can see where they're trying to work. It's body, go top, very powerful, Shootbox style. And you look at some of the very limited highlights you can find of him. He enjoys using that jiu-jitsu just like they all do, more defensively. In his only career loss, you kind of saw the wrestling was what really did him in. I think that you had opportunities there where you saw him utilize some submissions to get back to his feet, but Murad Kalimov really did just take him down a lot, use some mediocre ground and pound, and even when you saw Daniel Santos get to the top, he actually looked all right against Kalimov. So it's just one of those areas where, that pure wrestling Sambo style, it just happens to be maybe his biggest downfall. And when we talk about Julio Arce, I mean, the best thing I want to talk about him is, one, incredibly solid, quality of opponent type of record. Dan Ige in his second UFC fight, these are big things for me. And, 3 losses in the UFC, yes, but Song Yadong, pretty much a prodigy at this point. In my mind, what I would define a prodigy at any given field, I think, Song Yadong is getting there. And then you talk about the prior 2 split decision losses to guys like Shaman Marias the first time, and the next one to Hakeem Dawodu. So he's fighting the right guys, very close outcomes. And then you talk about the things he can do well in this fight. The limited tape out on Daniel Santos. I think the wrestling's the way to go. I think he's got quick feet, really good combos coming out of that Tiger Schulman camp. And you see him working on his boxing via his Instagram account and things like that. But I really want to see him change levels a lot. I want to see him really force Daniel Santos to think about where he can throw, because I think if this becomes a dogfight on the feet, Daniel's not going to really, he's going to throw caution to the wind, is what we would call that. He's going to go big shots to the body, try to land up top, probably not cover up as much as you would think. But Julio Arce, is the one thing you want to give him is technical striking, footwork, and the big thing we want to see from him here is changing levels. I just really think outside of that, the path to victories might be fairly limited. I mean, he's got to last that first round, avoid any big power shots, because I think with Julio, the one thing you see is that as fights progress, he tends to have more opportunities to do his thing. And you look at the fights in the past where he's got one takedown. He's never had more than 2 takedowns in a fight, but he's definitely attempted them. I've seen 3, I've seen 5. So that's the type of fight you want. I think you want this fight to be up against the fence. It's going to be boring for the fans, but if I'm Julio Arce, especially for that first, round and a half, I think that's exactly where you want it. Eliminate the power shots, force Daniel Santos to use some of his energy to keep the fight in those dangerous places. But, again, for Daniel, avoid the takedowns. Keep it on your feet. If you find those opportunities for submissions, take them. But I really think that this is a fight where for the first round and a half, you're going to see a man just try to take somebody's head off, and the combos look good. I think that the submission opportunities might be there. But again, it's going to be a lot of striking and a lot of power. But I got Arce here as a minus 140 favorite. It just makes a lot of sense to me. Technical skill, experience, quality of opponent, all these things really tell me that the one thing I have against Julio is, one, don't get hit by power shots in the first round, and two, stick to that game plan of trying to take it deep, make him work out of takedown opportunities, that kind of thing. And let's take a look here. Wow. Julio Arce, minus 200. I mean, we're along the right trail of a favorite there. So, good start to the pick. For me, betting-wise, I do like Julio in this fight. I think there's an opportunity there. But, again, if I'm going to start putting out, that's the big thing I'm going to start doing now, is I'm going to be putting out some feeler plays, and throughout the week, start putting out some betting picks. I think that's going to be some fun stuff to keep track of. We already have the Super Saiyan pick that we just ride or die together with, and I think it's time to start having some fun outside of that. But I like Julio Arce in this fight as a minus 140. We see that Vegas is giving us that minus 200. We'll take it. I don't think that this is a guaranteed bet fight, so I think we'll move on from that and see what else we can kind of find when it comes to best bets and things we like to see overall.